And a good midday on this Monday. This weather video is driven by 802cars.com, representing 802 Toyota, Twin City Subaru, and 802 Honda, all located off of Exit 7 on Interstate 89. And it looks like the tropics are active with the big picture here showing the lower latitudes, and this is Tropical Storm Delta, and it's become Tropical Storm Delta since Tropical Depression 26 has now just evolved, and so we also have a Tropical Storm Gamma, and Gamma is going to be taking a track, it looks like, into the Bay of Campeche along the Yucatan coast, whereas Delta is going to be the main player. Gamma is going to get out of the way, and looks like a Category 1, Category 2 storm. Once again, headed for the same locations. This would be the third time that we'll have a coastal landfall here in the areas around Louisiana. Then that will take a track and kind of curve to the right and head out to sea, basically in the Carolinas. We've seen this over and over again. Concentrating a little bit further to the north, we can see the couple different shortwave troughs here. One that's moving in through the northern plains, mostly up in Canada. Another deeper trough, it's been producing a little bit of cloud cover, and this is working through our neck of the woods. We'll see kind of unsettled weather with this system coming in, pushing in a little bit more of a potent area of low pressure, kind of like an Alberta Clipper system. Let's take a look at that. Okay, looking at the precipitable water metrics, and you can see not a whole lot going on over Vermont. We're basically neutral in the precipitable water, and so anything that's blue is drier than normal, a large part of the country. Anything that's above, in the oranges there, above the white color, you can see that we get into higher moisture levels. And notably, well, this is now, was a Tropical Depression 26, now Tropical Storm, what was it, Gamma? No, Delta, sorry. This is Gamma. And Gamma is now going to be taking a kind of a little bit of a track here. Let's run it and you can kind of get the picture. Again, this is the moisture level, so it does kind of show what's going on. Also shortwave trough, and this is what's going to make us unsettled. So you can kind of follow this a little bit better and see how this all works out. Now, eventually, it looks like Delta is going to be taking a track again toward the Mississippi, or the mouth of the Mississippi. It gets right on the coastal Louisiana area there, and then pulls to the right and goes out to sea. What else is new? We've seen this so often, it's kind of crazy. Meanwhile, back at the ranch up to the north, we dry out. Big area of higher pressure builds in about Sunday. Not a whole lot of weather system to contend with. And just looking at that, kind of the same thing here. You can see just a little bit of precipitation makes it into northern parts of Vermont. This is tomorrow night, Tuesday night into Wednesday. And we are going to be flirting with a little bit of sprinkles even this late afternoon across the far northern tier. But again, not a big deal. This is our little more potent shortwave trough at the surface at 992, area of low pressure tracking through the St. Lawrence River Valley. A little bit of a south wind, channeling wind in the northern Champlain Valley. It does not look like a big deal. And then on the backside of that system, we'll also have some southwesterly winds that could affect us on Wednesday. Now, this would be about the right time. So we're talking probably in the afternoon, later in the afternoon into the early evening hours on Wednesday. There could be some wind gusts in that sort of 40, maybe perhaps 50 mile per hour range, mostly at the highest elevations of the Green Mountains. So we do have some gradient winds to have to watch here, and there'll be future heads up on that information. Now, beyond that, once that storm pulls away, you can see these are the blue lines. Yes, sir, the thicknesses that support rain versus snow. So precipitation exit basically just in time, and there could be a couple little flurries at tip tops of the mountains. We're really not going to worry about that, and this is valid going as far out as Thursday right now. So moving on a little bit further down the road here, we can see, kind of keep our eye on Delta, and then we have this area of higher pressure that's going to be ridging north for a real nice, good project weather day. It looks like on Friday. The only real two this particular period is tomorrow, Tuesday, as well as Friday, and then once that kind of pushes on out to sea, we have another shortwave trough that's going to bring in some unsettled weather, it looks like. But look, notice that most of the heavy action, once again, northern Vermont and then points north. A little bit of sliding by there, and then you see the remains of Delta go out into the western Atlantic Ocean, and then a 1029, 1031 hectopascal high pressure anticyclone, and that's going to bring us and deliver some fine weather, it looks like, for next Sunday, Monday, and maybe even going into Tuesday and Wednesday beyond. That's a pretty strong area of higher pressure, so it looks like multiple days to start early next week. Just a heads up, this is going to be just a little bit beyond the period if it holds up. The Jeff's modeling, the Canadian Ensemble, GFS Ensemble, this is 3-hourly QPF. You can see this is basically Wednesday's precipitation. A little hint of a couple of sprinkles or light rain showers barely registering here, and that's going to happen in the northern tier regions. Again, this is centered on Montpelier, Vermont, but as we look at the total QPF, we're not looking at a lot of precip here. 2,500s, 3/10 of an inch. It's pretty limited. And you can see it, northern areas are favored over central and southern areas. This is the 2,500ths of an inch, a total 7-day QPF from the Weather Prediction Center. And the temperature anomalies, you can see that it's warmed up out west, cooled down in the sort of eastern part of the lower U.S. anyway, and somewhat into Canada. This is going to be heading our way eventually, but not for a while yet. And looking at the weighted maximum temperatures over the next 5 days, the MOS, we're looking at about 0 to 3 degrees above normal, so slightly warmer than normal this particular period, the next 5 days of maximum temperatures. And then about 3 days later, before we go, look at this, 18 degrees above normal. That's pretty significant. 3 days later, it looks like this. This kind of shifts, everything shifts east a little bit. We're looking at below by 3 degrees and otherwise neutral across the northern part of New England. And real quickly, I want to show you the way the jet streams are kind of situated around the northern hemisphere, one exiting, one inbound, and so forth. Snow depths look like this. Not a lot accrued yet, but starting to happen in the Canadian archipelago, very northern areas around the Barents Sea, northern Alaska, and so forth. And one of the things we're watching is how fast the snow accrual will be across Siberia. A fast result means colder than normal winter, potentially, maybe snowier. We'll have to wait and see. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights, thanks for watching.